kids need us. They need us to fight for them. They don't have the luxury of time. They don't have the luxury of waiting for adults to get education right. Hi, my name is Kelly Tenkely. I am an educator. I've been an educator for 10 years, and I am the founder of Anastasis Academy. TeachOn. I initially thought I was going to leave education the first year that I started teaching. I was in a classroom with 27 kids, and they were second graders, so 7 to 8-year-olds. And I had several who I knew were being abused. And as an educator, you enter education wanting to save kids, wanting to do the best by kids. And it was really disheartening to enter a space where you're supposed to teach reading and math and do the best for kids, and they're worried about the cigarette burns on their arms and what's going to happen when they go home. You feel helpless. You feel like there's nothing that you can do to change things. And educators get into education because they want to make things better for kids. That was really hard. It was a lot of stress, and it's not something that's easy to leave at school when you're at home at night. I really thought that I was going to take some time and figure out what I should do next instead of education. But I was a newlywed, and I needed an income. I needed to help out with that. And so I put my resume out in July, knowing that it was late for a teaching resume to go out. And my thought there was I could say that I had tried, and if it didn't work out, it didn't work out. But I ended up getting a call from a local school, and they interviewed me and finished with, you know, we just don't have a place for you right now, but maybe you'll sub for us. And so I thought, well, sure, I can sub, and then in the meantime, I can be looking for my next career path. And on my way home, I got a call from the office manager of the school, and she said, I know this is really a long shot, but we noticed on your resume that you had listed a website you've used with kids before, and we're wondering if maybe you might want to be a computer teacher for us for kindergarten through 2nd grade. And she rushed on to say, and it's only 16 hours a week, and I know you were probably looking for something full-time, but we're desperate. And I thought I had just hit the jackpot because here I was needing time to find another career, so I thought. And to just teach computer classes, I thought I could handle that. I thought I could stay ahead of 2nd graders' knowledge at least. I didn't have a background in technology. I learned that year that I was with those kids in teaching technology that I am a secret geek, and I love technology, and I had no idea that I was such a geek. And so I really started to get connected to other educators online through blogging about what I was doing in my classroom, and really got a chance to connect and be encouraged by other teachers around the world who had hard days the same way I had hard days, and who persevered and who wanted to do the very best by kids every day. I have rheumatoid arthritis and Raynaud's syndrome, and I hit a point where I was really struggling with even being able to walk. I asked my doctor what my options were, and he really said, you know, you've exhausted medications that we can try. And I really think that a big piece of this is that you are in an environment where your immune system never has a chance to really do what it needs to do, and it's constantly fighting your own body, so maybe take a step outside the classroom. I was still very connected, obviously, with my personal learning network, and I threw out this idea for the learning genome. I had been listening to Pandora Internet Radio. I couldn't get out of my mind, if we can do that for music, why wouldn't we be able to do that for curriculum for kids? So I started playing around with an idea and wireframing this idea up, and really seeking out other educators to kind of pour into it and tell me I was crazy and talk me out of it, but they kept talking me into it. So I went full down the path of what if there was a piece of technology that could do this, and developing that. As I'm developing it, I'm realizing public schools aren't going to be able to utilize it the way the vision I have in my mind, because they have so many students in their classroom. And being in curriculum development, I saw in curriculum decisions, I saw how expensive that curriculum is and how often it gets turned over, and I'm thinking, man, if you could just buy it a piece at a time, what you need, instead of the whole big box, it changes everything. As a result, I really started just developing, if I could have a school, if it could be the ideal, what would it look like? So I developed that idea and that model, and convinced some people to come along with me, and we started a school. I would encourage you and urge you, if you feel like you want to leave the classroom, to stick with it. Kids need an advocate. They need somebody who is passionate for them on their behalf. They need somebody to fight for them. Find something that you're passionate about. Find where you feel like you're in your element, and really stick with it, because those kids need us. They need us to fight for them. They don't have the luxury of time. They don't have the luxury of waiting for adults to get education right. They need it today. They keep growing, and it's up to us to advocate on their behalf.